The Kamikaze-class destroyers were a class of 9 destroyers of the Imperial Japanese Navy. Some authors consider the Nokaze, Kamikaze and Mutsuki classes to be extensions of the Minekaze-class destroyers, and the Kamikaze-class is sometimes referred to as the Kiyokaze-class to distinguish it from the earlier World War I-era destroyer class of the same name. Obsolete by the beginning of the Pacific War, the Kamikazes were relegated to mostly secondary roles. Most ultimately were lost to U.S. submarines. Background: the Kamikaze-class vessels were an extension and improvement to the ongoing Minekaze-class program as part of the 8-8 Fleet Plan. They were ordered under the 1921-1922 fiscal budget. As with the Wakate-class, they were originally numbered, but were assigned individual names after 1928. Construction of the last 2 planned Kamikaze vessels was cancelled in conformance with the Washington Naval Treaty. Oichihaya of Sanagi and Unagi were called the Kamikaze-class late production model, as the power plant and armaments were different. Design: the Kamikaze-class ships were visually identical to the earlier Minekaze-class, apart from slight detail changes in the bridge and the addition of an improved 120mm 50 cal main gun which was designed as a dual-purpose mount. The Kamikaze-class was the first destroyer class in the Japanese Navy to be built with a bridge strengthened by steel plating. This gave the vessels a higher center of gravity, and to counteract this they were built with an increased displacement and a wider beam for better stability. Although they had slightly less speed and GT 37.5 knots, they were considered satisfactory compared with the Minekaze-class. Operational history: the Kamikaze-class vessels all saw combat during the Pacific War, with Hayate having the distinction of being the first Japanese destroyer to be lost in combat during the conflict. She was sunk during the Battle of Wake Island in December 1941. By 1944, 4 Kamikaze-class vessels had been sunk by American submarines and a 5th was lost in an air raid on Truk. In 1945 a 6th ship was sunk by submarine action. Only Kamikaze and Harukaze survived the war, but Harukaze was in such poor condition when surrendered at Sasebo that she was soon scrapped. Kamikaze continued on as a repatriation ship after it was surrendered at Singapore, but grounded off Cape Omizaki in June 1946 and was written off. Class members. Naming history: the IJN originally planned that the Kamikaze-class ships should have names, but upon completion they were given numbers due to the projected large number of warships the IJN expected to build through the 8-8 Fleet Plan. This proved to be extremely unpopular with the crews and was a constant source of confusion in communications. In August 1928, names were assigned, but not the original names that were planned.